Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. In this video, we are going to look at the All Progressive Congress and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's defense of the drug case of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 1993. We look at, they have just submitted their kind of defense against Peter Obi's charge that because of that drug case, that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu ought to have been disqualified from participating in the election, and that his vote is supposed to be voided, should be cancelled as not being part of the election, because ab initio he was not qualified based on that forfeiture. So the APC, you know that the APC is one of the prayers of Peter Obi that have rattled them. And it's one of the reasons why Peter Obi is passing through a lot of hell now from the APC administration and all others who are trying to make things difficult for him, despite the fact that they were the ones that told him to go to court if he had any complaints about the election, which he has done. So we are going to look at the defense that the APC has made concerning the drug case of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But first of all, we are going to say that APC admitted that Bola Ahmed Tinubu forfeited $460,000 to the United States government. They admitted that that money was forfeited. So we are now will examine their defense now. After admitting this, what is their defense? Why do they feel that their man, their candidate, is not supposed to be punished or have consequences for that forfeiture? Now, before I go further on this, if you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. The All Progressive Congress, the ruling party in Nigeria, has admitted that each presidential candidate and INEC declared president-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu indeed forfeited the sum of $460,000, being $460,000 being proceeds of heroin to the government of the United States in 1993. Okay? Admitted that. It, however, refuted claim that Tinubu was convicted as a result of the forfeiture. So what they are claiming is that since he was not, that in their own defense, that he was not convicted as a result of the forfeiture. But we'll get into that and we'll see how the Supreme Court define forfeiture and see whether Tinubu can get away with it. Recall that the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, had challenged the declaration of Tinubu as president-elect and prayed the court to declare him as the legitimate winner of the keenly contested February 25 election in Nigeria. According to him, Tinubu's forfeiture of of his funds to the US government over drug trafficking allegation is an indication that the former, former Lagos State governor committed infractions that should disqualify him from running for an election in Nigeria. But reacting in the processes it filed to defend its candidate, the APC legal team maintained that Tinubu merely surrendered funds in 10 bank accounts that were opened in either his name or that of Compass Finance and Investment Co. He told the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, sitting at the Court of Appeal in Abuja, that funds in the said accounts, which were domiciled in two commercial banks, were subject to a civil forfeiture proceedings in case number 93C 4483. And he said that the said decision is not against the second respondent, Tinubu, but against the funds in the various accounts opened in the name of Bola Tinubu with the First Heritage Bank and Citibank NA. Okay, let's move on. The compromise term that led to the forfeiture were preceded by express admission on record that the second respondent, Tinubu, did not admit the commission of any drug or drug-related or illicit conduct or of dishonesty or fraud that fits into any of the grounds of disqualification to contest for office of President of Nigeria at the February 25, 2023 general election. That's the defense that APC legal team they are making. It further argued that the said forfeiture Tinubu made to the US government, having lasted a period of 29 years, was no longer a valid ground to challenge his eligibility to contest the presidential election. So this is the defense they have given the legal team of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC. You can see that one of the ground they feel that Tinubu can get away from the drug case in Chicago was to claim that the matter is status barred now. You can see that they said that it has taken 29 years since this thing happened. Therefore, it has passed the ground. Now, the APC claimed that the issue is status barred, basing its argument on Section 137 1E of the 1999 Constitution that states that a person cannot be elected president within 10 years of a conviction for offenses brought by the Code of Conduct Bureau. A person shall not be qualified for election to the office of president if within a period of less than 10 years before the date of the election to the office of president, he has been convicted and sentenced for an offense involving dishonesty, or he has been found guilty of contravention of the Code of Conduct. That's what the section said. That's the section they are claiming give them status bar. But there was a section that you will read before you get to this section. They decided not to touch that aspect. However, the APC lawyers left out the preceding section of the Constitution, section 137, 1D, that disqualified anyone who had been fined for any offenses in the past from becoming president. Okay, the preceding section did not put any time limit. Okay, section 137, 1D states that disqualified anyone who had been fined for any offenses in the past from becoming president. That's section 137, 1D. It disqualified any person, and it didn't put any limit. That section, which applies to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that section is the one that applied to Bola Ahmed Tinubu over the forfeiture of $460,000 of drug money or proceeds of crime in Chicago in 1992. So that does not have any timeline. It doesn't have any timeline. And that is the one that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will face. That's the one that concerns him. In that case, there is no time limit. So he could be disqualified because there is no time limit. Now, this is what that section said in detail. A person shall not be qualified for election to the office of president if he is under a sentence of death imposed by any competent court of law or tribunal in Nigeria, or a sentence of imprisonment or fine for any offense involving dishonesty or fraud by whatever name called, or for any other offense imposed on him by any court or tribunal, or substituted by a competent authority for any other sentence imposed on him. So you can see that there's no way Tinubu will escape this. There's no way he will escape this. Now, another argument they are making, now we have dealt with the issue of status bar. The courts, the alleged crime that he committed by forfeiting that led to the forfeiture of the $460,000 is not statute barred by that section 137 1B. Now the APC is also arguing that what Tinubu was imposed on by the Chicago courts was civil forfeiture and not criminal forfeiture. Therefore, there was no conviction. So they are claiming that even though Bola Ahmed Tinubu forfeited $460,000 to the United States government, there was no conviction, that he was not convicted in the process, that what happened was just a mere forfeiture, a civil forfeiture, not a criminal forfeiture. However, we are going to see how the Supreme Court of Nigeria defined forfeiture. And that is what will be applicable to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in this matter. In 2014, the Supreme Court defined forfeiture as punishment for an offense. So the APC legal team, who want us to believe that it is a civil forfeiture, want us to believe that it is not a punishment. It is a punishment. The Supreme Court of Nigeria is saying here, it is a punishment. Why are you going to be punished? If you haven't committed a crime, why should you be punished? You must have committed a crime before you can serve a punishment of forfeiture. Because forfeiting a money that you earn, your hard-earned money, if it was genuine money of yours that is not proceed of crime, you will fight tooth and nail to make sure that they don't take your money from you. The reason you agreed to forfeit the money was because you have been cornered, and it has been proven that the money you have in your bank is proceed of drug, heroin. That was why you have no choice but to forfeit it based on the order of the court of the United States, because you have no choice. You have to be punished. The money has to be taken away from you. It's a punishment. In 2014, the Supreme Court defined forfeiture as punishment for an offense under Nigerian criminal statutes. The word forfeiture means the divestiture of property without compensation. Divestiture of property without compensation. The loss of a right, privilege, or property because of a crime, breach of obligation, or neglect of duty. The Supreme Court ruled on January 17, 2014 in Mohammed Abacha versus the federal government of Nigeria. So a crime must have been committed before there will be a forfeiture. And it is a process of punishment. Now let us go to the definition of a person who has forfeited proceeds of crime, as defined again by the Supreme Court. A person who has forfeited property on the basis of crime cannot be entitled to indemnity. Forfeiture is a form of punishment. There is no indemnity in our criminal procedure. The court further stated in a majority decision delivered by the current Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Arewola. He was the one that delivered this judgment. And it's interesting that he is going to preside over this same forfeiture matter in the case of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, this time as the head of the Nigeria's judiciary. You can see that their defense of Tinubu's drug case in the United States is weak, very weak. Now, then the final defense that they gave that really cracked me up when I saw it was that the APC team telling the tribunal that it was Tinubu's bank account that was charged for receiving and laundering proceeds of heroin. Please get this thing clear. I want you to hear this again because it's very funny. These are lawyers. This is what they submitted in the defense of Tinubu. as I said, it is one that really cracked me up. They said that they told the tribunal that it was Tinubu's bank account that was charged for receiving and laundering proceeds of heroin. What they meant by this is that it was the bank account of Tinubu that was guilty and not Tinubu himself. That is the defense they are giving. That it was the bank account of Tinubu that was charged for receiving and laundering proceeds of heroin and not Tinubu. So therefore, Tinubu is different from his bank account. Can you beat that kind of defense? We'll wait and see how the Supreme Court of Nigeria and any other courts will agree with this kind of defense. That Tinubu is different from his bank accounts. That Tinubu is different from his bank account. It was his bank account that was charged for money laundering and not Tinubu himself. Can you beat that? And they expect any reasonable jury, any reasonable justices to listen to this and agree with them that Tinubu is separate from his bank account. So if they launder money and put in somebody's account, and his account is the proceed is used to launder money around the world, you can't hold that person responsible for the account. It is the account that should be held responsible because it's the account that gave out the IS number for money to be wired inside it, and not the owner of the account that gave the number out before they could put proceed of crime into that account. It's to me, one of the most ridiculous defense I've ever seen. That what the court, the United States, charged for money laundering was the bank account and not Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I think these people should know that we are all reasonable people. We are all sensible people. And they expect us and the judges to accept this. Well, we are waiting with bated breath as the legal fireworks will soon start. But I can tell you, in my own understanding of this, the defense that the APC legal team has presented in this particular issue of drugs that concerns Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is pretty very weak. And it is a clear indication that indeed a new Nigeria is possible and Peter Obi is coming. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you.